So I will create the for loop again. So for p is a variable in dot patches. Plot is also our variable. Plot dot annotation. Sorry, annotate. So this will display the value of the bar chart above the bar chart. That's what we are doing here. P dot get underscore x, which is our x coordinate, plus p dot get underscore width, and this is the width of the bar, the thickness of the bar. That's going to be divided by 2. This will set the horizontal and vertical centers for the value that we are displaying. XY text is for the placement. These are the coordinates from where the value would be placed from the center. So if I place 0 here, then it would be at the center, and 9 would be a bit above the center. You will see. I will change it and show you what difference that this code makes. So let's run this program and we will see. So our program is running. We will go to the BH route. As you can see, we are it displays the value on the top of the bar. 5, 11, 9, 8, whatever the value is, it will display at the point. So I will explain this this XY text. So what if, let me change this and you will understand what this is about. If I change it to 25, if I run it again, you see the text has moved upward. So it's basically for the placement of the text. See, it has moved a bit upward from the point. And if I change it again, I change the y-axis now. If I do this 25 as well. Let's say we keep this 0.
Showing in HTML. Static and after so HTML we then after we done MySQL. Okay. And show all the project.
So as you can see, the values have moved to the right, and as x is 0, it's directly at the point of the offset. It's the value has moved a bit down and to the right. So this is basically just for the placement of the code. With 9. And so now as we have saved the value, save the graph in test.png. We can also use this in render template. Index.html, and we go to index.html. We can just simply add the file name, which is test1.png. So when we are not writing the static path because it's not in static, it's outside.
I think we have to run py file.
Put them into static folder and then you do it. You put into static folder and then you do it.
Sorry, was someone asking something?
Actually, we have to run py file instead of HTML file.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
it
if
was
you run
earlier.
it from here, it will only run the py file. Even
Right.
if I'm on HTML, if I run it from here,
Okay, sir.
it will run the py file only. So you can see that it says temp here.
Okay.
It's our temp file already in there. So if I run it from if I run it from here, then it's understandable. If I'm on HTML page, then it will open the HTML context menu.
Now we run it from here. Yes.
Static folder. Static में रखो बोला है.
Just a minute.
Curly bracket. नहीं ये बाहर ही कोई बात नहीं स्टैटिक में डाल देते हैं इसको वहाँ पे पाथ दे देंगे स्टैटिक में चला जाएगा Mini file. Running. Static. Okay. Right. Slash.
सर स्टैटिक के आगे स्लैश नहीं आएगा.
Okay, okay, yeah. Got it. Thank you. So as you can see, this is how we can display the file in HTML. We save the file and then we just fetch it from the static. Okay. This is the basic things we can do in Matplotlib using different libraries. So yeah. So now Vishal sir will take over. Thank you.
Ratin, sorry, respect you, sir. One question from my side.
Yeah.
कि, अगर हम सब लोग रिक्वेस्ट डालते तो क्या हर बार नई फाइल जनरेट होगी? If right now assume 55% are online here on the same portal and everyone is sending request, then it will increase the load of server.
हाँ, of course वो तो होगा, लेकिन ये basic है. What we can do in that is that we can create a session where when everyone, and there's another way to do this without generating the file, which is a bit more complicated, where we directly convert the graph into a file image that goes through HTML. Okay. And that we can do through a session. So when individual people do it, like if I log in from an account and I create a graph for my account, then it won't generate a file as PNG, but it will display it in the HTML directly. So for what you are asking, your concern is correct, but there's a way around it. So this is just very basic to understand.
Okay, yeah.
So there's a whole process to it where we can convert the files, the graph we are getting, without saving it into a PNG. Using base64 library. It's a library base64 that we use to convert it into a PNG format, but without saving the file. And then we assign it to a variable, and that variable is variable goes to the HTML file, and then it is displayed. So in that way, it won't put any load more than necessary. That like when we save, like if 50 people are using, then it won't save 50 files. It will just generate a file for them in their own session. That's all. Is there any other question?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Actually, sir, we are using we are not loading a base64 library right now. The main concept of the base64 library is using for that. they're not generating the PNG file. They're directly converting into the. They give all the criteria to the HTML file, and the file showing on HTML format. So if that's many people are doing the request, the same process is done. And I will share this coding as well as for the practice purpose. Okay. So basically, what happened? Pandas and Matplotlib and Seaborns. We are using the CSV files. This is an Excel file. Basically, data analysis work is we talking about the non-technical. They are not very technically very sound for, but so they are working within Excel. So we working within CSV. But if we have very huge data, if you have some of the database, so we connect within database and we find all the related data. Even though we can also doing the searching. So right now I will show you one of the project, and then after we see that some MySQL basic concept like a function procedure. I have to share all of you the files like CAGR database. Am I right? I shared this file to Google Drive, so I think you all got this file. So you're also getting some functions over here, some procedures over here. Okay. Yes.
So yeah, another thing about the question that just recently you asked about what will happen if everyone like use this login and they generate multiple files. So what I was talking about, see, you can see here. Let me highlight it. See, we have created a variable called fig for the figure. So whatever data is coming through, it goes to this variable. So then this variable, we have to import another library. It's a backend library for Matplotlib, which is called figure canvas. So using that library and using this variable right here, we can convert this figure into a machine readable file. Like it won't display here directly, but we can put it into another variable, then send it to the HTML directly. So it won't take physical memory. Like it won't save PNG file every time like 100 people generate it. It will just go through the process and directly display it on the screen. So that this is what like I was talking about. This is what I wanted to add. Thank you.
Okay, so we've done our task over here. So anyone have any doubts regarding this? Any questions? And then we show you over one of the projects, and we also do some MySQL tasks. Anyone have a question regarding this? Manisha ma'am?
Yes, sir. Any question?
Ghanshyam sir, anyone have questions? You have told that one Bharat sir.
Dear participants, you have any question, then you can ask, please.
Right now, I don't have any question.
Okay.
We can continue if other people do not have any question, right?
Vishal sir, in first session, someone has mentioned that anchor tag is remaining. I hope you have covered in last session. I don't know.
Sure. I also cover this anchor tag as well as yes, I told you that. So if we go to floating one file to another file, so how we are using? Just 1 minute, I show you. So basically, we generating one another HTML file over here. Connecting HTML files. दूसरी फाइल में बना दो. I'm just creating dumb HTML file. And in this body tag, so right now I want to redirect from this index file, and this index file when I'm seeing in temp, So they're right now in the BH. This is my code BH. So I simply copied the BH code and just I paste it over here. And this is my dump.html file. So I'm putting as the first file. We just done it. So when I click this file, they float to another file. So we already mentioned the route over here, just like we are creating BH for the URL. So this kind of we are using the anchor tag over here. Okay. Okay. So anyone have questions regarding this code? So right now we show you our whole project, and then after we see some of the MySQL features. We know that you are already aware about the function procedures and triggers, which is very advanced level of the MySQL, which are frequently used in our projects. Because some coding we are done in the MySQL phase, so that not need to be do in the Python section. So we getting the filtered data, so we just only representing. So I'm hand over this my system to my colleagues and my other system, so they can show you whole the project with using the CAGR. Okay. So Ghanshyam sir, Razin, I just revert to Razin. Okay, the same link. Okay, just I.
Okay, so no issue.
Hello?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay, no problem. So I will share the screen. Let's share the screen.
Sir, you are mute right now.
Yeah, I'm just opening my project. Screen one. Okay. Can you see the screen? Hello?
Ghanshyam sir, the screen दिख रही है आप?
Yes, sir, it is visible, clearly
Okay.
visible.
We make them as a light. The font size or वो हम उसकी.
Okay.
Yeah, I will change the theme if it's not visible. No problem. Is it? It's now better, right?
Yes, sir, better visible.
Okay, no problem. So this is the database that we are using at the moment. So there are two tables and two functions and one procedure. So
First of all, we show the project, and then after we have to explain the function and procedures.
Yeah, so I'll just show you what the project is about. I will run it first. So issue with video sharing. Pixel open system. So this is the basic project. It's very simple. We are just entering a data from here, and it will go to. Let me insert the data.
No, just first to show the data.
Okay. So this when I click on show data button. So this is the table that's you can see here. It's visible here in the database. So we are just fetching that with all the details in the HTML. And when we go to analysis, we can filter it by the value we want. Like if we select a minimum CAGR, if I click filter, then
2%.
it will give all the values from to above the value we enter. So as you can see from 2, so there is no data with 2% value. So we get from 3 to up to 11. That's the highest value we have. And it creates a graph here. So it shows a graph with the values and the company names. And it creates a chart as well. This is an HTML chart. We are using a function in it. So we have created 2 different charts for it, one line chart and one bar chart. So this is coming from HTML. This part here is what is coming from Flask. What we discussed just recently when I said that we convert the graph into an image and directly display it. This is the code here that we are using. As you can see the comments, this is the code that we are using to convert the image directly without saving it. So here there is no image saved here. You can see in the template, I don't even have the static folder. And here are my files, Python files and the HTML files. There's no image that is saved here. It just displays directly. So we will show this tomorrow. There's no issue in that. So the basic idea of the project is we go to home. Then we go to graph. This is just a separate page for graph. And when I click on PyGraph, it will show the graph that is coming from Python as well. These are HTML graphs. This is the Python graph. So let's go to home and enter a value. We put initial amount 5 lakhs.
This is CAGR projects which do in an Excel.
So it will calculate CAGR. Let's put a negative value so we can see if it gives us negative result or positive result. So I will click on insert. And as you can see at the end, number 10, we are getting a value which says Reliance with the value that we entered, and it calculated the CAGR. It's 00, but then it might be in point. That's why it's showing the minus sign. So if we reload here,
Negative values.
you can see the database is updated. We have a 10th value that says Reliance and all the value we entered. And it's -0. I think there might be decimal values. That's why it's showing minus, or otherwise it would just be 0. So yeah, here we are at home. When I go to analysis, let's first check the whole graph. So when you go to analysis, as you can see, there's another value. It's Reliance. You can see it in the chart as well. It's 0. Here it's also 0, and I go to pie graph, and you can see there's a value 0 here. As it's 0, we won't be able to see the bar chart because there's no value to plot. So once I go to home, show data, and we go to analysis, and
8% more. So those companies whose CAGR is more than 8%.
So we take 8%, or it will show us the data that is 8 or 8 more than 8%. So these are the only 5 companies that are 8 or more than 8%. And it also shows us the negative data if you want to take. If I take -2, then it will show the data above it. So you can see that we get 0, 0, -1 as well. So it's showing all the data. If I take 0, so it comes with 0. The -1 is not displayed now. And it's properly arranged, and it doesn't miss a space or something. So this is the basic idea of the project. But there's a calculation that's going on over here. So the way we calculate this closing balance and the CAGR, this is done through functions. So there are 2 functions. First one, it creates, it's used for closing balance. As you can see, it might be a bit complicated when you look at it first, but it's just the 6 values that we are using: the initial opening balance, and then the percentage of growth of company for the next 5 years. So the value A here is the opening balance, which is the value that we enter. I just now entered for Reliance, which is 5 lakh. And the B, C, and E, D, F till F, it's there. Those are the percentage of the growth. That's why we have to write divide by 100. Because we need to convert the value in percentages. It doesn't directly understand it as percentage unless I put it in decimals, which would be complicated from the user point of view.
Functions didn't value for this, and CAGR function.
And then there's CAGR function. So the value we get from the previous function, it is used here. The closing balance, CLB, is used here in CAGR. This is the same formula that is used in Excel as well, but it's been formatted for the SQL. That's all. The power is for raised to power 1/4 minus 1. It's basically that. The 4 is the number of year. The 4 here is the duration between the number of years. Basically, if there are 5 years, then we take the 4 intervals from first year to second, second to third, third to fourth, and fourth to fifth. So if we have to calculate from 1 year to 5 year, then we will take 4 year, because it's 4 are the intervals, basically, from first to second, second to third, that way. And then we go to procedure. So this is a procedure which we are calling directly in our code. So I will show you the code of the procedure here. Just a moment. You can see here, this is the query that we are using to directly call the procedure through the MySQL connector. This is the connection to the server, MySQL server we have. And from here, we are calling the procedure directly. So the data goes to the procedure. It goes through one loop, and then it is inserted into the company CAGR table. Different values are going over there, and we are also using the functions here. See, it's a CLB function and CGR function. So these functions are calculating the values for the closing balance and the CAGR. So as you can see here, it's So as you can see here, the closing balance I've written round in front of it with two values, which basically is, displays round the value to up to 2 decimal point. If I write 4 here, then it will round the value to 4 decimal point. That's the only thing it is. So we are inserting the value here, and when the while loop completes, the I value is added 1, so it closes the loop, because we have set I as less than equal to 0. So unless it is 0 or less than 0, it will run the loop. The moment the value is added 1, it will increase the value of I to more than 0, so it will stop the loop. So from here, the data goes into the data directly goes here in this table, and then from here we are fetching all the data in another route, select star from company CAGR, and that route is going here. So the thing, one important thing here, so as you can see, db equal to my cursor fetch all. So we have assigned as a variable here db, which will store the value, and then we can use it to go to the HTML file. So this we will explain later tomorrow. So you don't have to worry about it. If you have a question, you can ask. This is the basic project in which we are using Flask and Matplotlib libraries. These are our libraries. So for the person who asked the question about the memory issue, this is the library that we use to push the file into an image format without saving it. This is the library that we are using to directly send the library, this file, this library and this library, base64, and this is from Matplotlib backend .backend agg import figure canvas agg as figure canvas. This is the one we are using. Let me just show you where we are using here. Yeah, this is the one we are using to convert the image into a, and then it goes to HTML analysis. And here you can see just the image tag is the name is mentioned. That's all. So that data is stored here. The image is stored here. It goes to this variable, and through the graph data variable, we send it to the HTML file. That's also that's the project. If you have any question up till now, you can please ask.
I have one question.
Yeah, sure, go on.
Let's open up that procedure, please.
Yeah, sure. Yes.
So why are we keeping this while loop here?
So it's basically run the procedure. We can
Actually, we didn't require the while condition. We not write down the while condition. Also we are using the insert key, but first of all, we mentioned the two variable were CLB and CAGR. There is a functions. We differentially specify these functions, and we use this function with the set keywords, and this CLB and CAGR we are using in this insert query. So for that reason, they are only looping one times. So why? Because we give you any kind of the project to any person, so they can better understand they're using the two functions over here. So if we change the functions, so if we mention over here, so that's not an issue. We are also adding into our insert query as well as.
Okay.
But what we do the differentiation. So that's why we are using the while condition. They once looping one times, and they get all the data by the function. This function data going to the CLB and CGR, and they are stored within insert query. And then after I is equal to I plus 1, but there is no any other value, so out of the loop.
So even if I'm not writing this while loop, it will work fine.
Yes, that's work for which. You have to write down this function into the insert query as well as.
Okay.
Yeah, we can do it without the while loop as well. There's no issue in that, but we just follow a methodology because it becomes easier to understand the flow
Yes.
of the program. That's all.
If you without using a while condition, you write down the set command, the set keywords that they are not using. They show you one of the error.
Okay. So
Yes.
that is the reason. Okay.
Yes. If you make the you just using the while condition and just write down the set CLB is equal to closing balance and then parameters, then set CGR is equal to CAGR and the values and then insert query. So they fire one of error.
Okay.
So I hope you have already know about the MySQL concept about function and procedures. Function is a written value, and we are using the procedures. Why? Because we do the very complicated insert update task. Am I right? So anyone have the query regarding function and procedures? Because many times we are using some complicated mathematical functions we do in the MySQL function and procedures. So they just we getting only the data. Any participation and they have queries, so we can create one of the function in front of you, function and procedures both, so you can better understand.
Sir, yes, if you can.
Okay, so Razin is just creating small functions, and these functions add the value in the insert query. Okay, just create one table and show what is the function, what is the procedures.
Okay, sure.
Just one moment, sir. We give you the CHR SQL file. So you got the function and procedures file as well as.
Yes, I have got it, sir.
Okay. You take a taste and taste.
Function is fine. I just wanted to know procedure. Function I can understand.
Sure, sir. Definitely. I show you both things, function and procedures both.
Okay.
Okay.
You have already tasted.
Okay. So I'm just creating a new database. No issue. Table name.
Give them short name. Not add. EMP just like this.
Function.
Number. Name. Ten. Price. EMI वाला बना लो
मैंने बनाया हुआ ऑलरेडी, वो देखो.
शो वन जीएसटी के साथ जीएसटी के नहीं
Okay.
GST with GST. Okay. Make them more. Function magic.
So we are going to the database name. Okay. You go to routines and we add a route. From here we can change, select which one we want, a function or a procedure. Write down routing in GST. X. Return. Execute it. First of all. Write down 5,000. Make it procedures. So we just created a function for GST. Now we are going to create a procedure. Okay, let's just copy the query from here. So it's easier that we won't make any mistakes. Insert GST. Number is auto implemented. So as number is auto implemented, we don't need to mention it here. Name. Variable for name, variable for price, and then we are going to use the function for GST, which is PPR. And we'll add the parameters here. So whatever variable we use, we have to mention it here. There's 3 variables, PR, and it's GST. Only 2 parameters, only 2 profit. Okay, yeah, there are only 2 parameters. GST is the function.
Okay, there is an in and out process.
Length.
In means you have to insert the data, and out means out means we are not giving any kind of the value. They're getting the value inside the query, just like we're using the set keywords. Okay, so in and out both they're using in the inside as well as we also give them value. So right now we're taking it in.
Yeah, both would be in because we are giving the value.
And the name is not an integer; it's varchar.
Oh yeah, it's name. It's varchar. Okay. Go. So we are executing the procedure. So I will enter the name and the price 12,000 price. We click go. So in the table, we get the name, the price, and the price with the GST.
Okay, and so in the query, SQL call, using the call as a keyword. This procedure's name. probably can't see.
So we are just calling the procedure directly for using a query. So as you can see, we get the data in the table directly through query. So this is how function and procedure work. Function is basically we do a calculation and then assign it to a value, to a variable, and then we use. So we created a function named GSC. It's returning this calculation here. So this, whenever a value comes in, it goes and gets it's saved in the variable GSC. Then this variable, we can call it in any procedure we want. If I create another procedure and I want to call the function, I can call that function in another procedure as well. So we are just calling that function here. So the important thing about using the function is that what the amount of value we are putting here. So we have only one x here. In the parameter, there's only one parameter here, only x. So that's the only parameter that we can mention in the procedure. So if you go to procedure, let me zoom in a bit. As you can see, GSC, we have just one parameter, which is PR, because that's the function only has one parameter. If we created a function that is x plus y, then in addition, then we would have to give two parameters here, giving two values, so it can match the parameter in the function and then add those values if we create that kind of function. So this is how function and procedure works basically. Function works like
written value.
Yeah, function is the value that we provide and it calculates it and then saves it for we can use it later on if we want to. It's basically how function works in coding programs. When we assign a function and then call it in another, it's quite similar here. We just call the function in a procedure. That's all.
Any questions for this function and procedures?
No, sir. Thanks.
Okay, no problem.
And these two procedures in MySQL just give the routing, so we just easily create it. But when in an Oracle, we have to write down the whole code for that. We also including this in PL and SQL. So we do the whole coding over here. So when the database gives any kind of the data, they just filtering first of all in database side, and they are give the data to the Flask, so they can easily understand. And my Flask burden is going to be very lower because database is already filtering all the data. Okay. So let's we do one assignment week right now. I hope we show you some one projects and show the projects first of all. This kind of the projects we try to make it, even though we have another project as well as show the other projects.
Let me run this project. This one. So PyCharm
So your PyCharm is not, PyCharm is fast, but backside process it taking.
मैं तो रेगुलर यूज करता हूँ let's click on. So this is another project we have. It's so I will show you the database as well. It's a database called company. It might be a bit confusing because there are multiple tables and we have created multiple views for it.
They are all the leaders and team leaders.
So the idea is that there's a team leader and 2 team members, and they have specific targets. So what we are doing is they have a target, and then these are the targets that they have achieved. Sorry, these are the targets that they have achieved. These are the sales executive. The team, there are 2 main tables. The leader table. So these are the team leader IDs: 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6. And these are the sales executive. And so every team leader has 2 sales executive under it. And we have 6 team leader and 12 sales executives. And they have been assigned their own targets. And these are their sales targets. So these are the targets they have achieved, and now we are going to compare these targets. We create a view adding the target of every individual. So you can see that the first one was 25,000, and then next the value is just 24. So Bina's total is 25,024. And now this sales value we are comparing with the sales target, and gives us a plot. Pie plot basically. Let me show you this. So if I go to employee data, so you can see that it gives us a table of employee target, and it shows us the status, if it's achieved, not achieved, because it compares both the data. So if the sales amount is greater than or equal to target, then it's achieved. If it's less than, then it's not achieved. And you get this dual pie chart as well, so which shows the what color represent what. So you have a legend over here. This is called a legend. It shows specify the bar details for you basically. So the blue bar is sales, and the orange one is the given target. So you can compare that which one who is achieving and who is not achieving. You can see the difference. There is only it goes up to 55. The target is 60,000. And then there's another HTML chart over here, which display color based on the status. Same as here, it's changing color over here as well. Same thing is going on over here. If the target is just achieved, the bar chart would be in green. If it's not achieved, it would be in red. Same is happening in the line chart. So you can see the dot is green, the name is green. Not achieved, Ajay's name is red, and the box is also red, and the dot representing his value is also red. So this is the basic idea. Now if you want to see just the data of the team leaders, so we go to the team data, and you can see that the same pattern here. We are using similar charts here as well, and similar method. Now one thing that we go back to home, and this is the whole company data we get with a donut chart. So you can see everyone has a different percentage in the target, and then if they achieved it, then
they're not achieved, and then they are both.
It's red and green. And another thing here is that if I enter a name and an ID, so as you can see, this Satyam here. So if you go to the MySQL database, you can see that Satyam ID is 11. So when I click login, it will just give us the data of Satyam's team, and it will show us graph, and it will show us details if they have achieved the target or not. So Bina is at 25,000. That's why it's not displaying much data, because the difference is very small. So it starts with 25,000. That's why it's not visible here, but you can see it in the line chart. We have 2 points. A log out, it will get us to the home screen. If I go to Shivam and enter 22, That will give data for the team of Shivam. You can see not achieved. You can see the data here. So this is basically a data analysis project that we can expand on. It's at this level at the moment. Let's take another login. Let's we take Veena, which is 4.4. Let login, and so it gives us data of Veena. And when I click log out, it will go to home screen. So yeah, that's the project, and that's the basic idea here. That we are calculating the calculation happens in the view here actually. Not calculation, but we are taking all the data and we're creating a view for all data, and then using this data we are fetching and displaying the values in the charts and in the HTML files. So this is the basic. It just shows the target and the sales data, and we can compare it, and we can create charts using it. Just a visual representation of the data. So basic data analysis. That's all. If you have a question in this, please ask.
Okay, so we do some of the hand-on practice for first of all, and we give you one of the tasks. So please, all the participation we think that you have to do with us. We give a basic example to you, and please give us as a chart and representing in the chart format. Okay. Manisha ma'am. Hello, Manisha ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Sir Ghanshyam sir. Yes, sir. Ashish, they have questions. Yes.
Yeah. Sir, I have one question. Sir, you are showing the code of that bit 64.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. But can you share some little bit example for that? Or else can you share this kind of demonstration source code to us?
That actually program I showed you just now,
Yeah.
the images that were displayed, so they
Right.
are coming through that only. So
Yeah, exactly. I understand. But actually, if you provide this kind of source code to us, so we can get some reference from that, or else any kind of tutorial PDF or anything else, documentation.
Okay. They need the codes.
Okay, you need the code for it. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, then we can share a segment of code for it. So you can see that I have, let me see. So I have commented it. I can share this code with you.
Done.
So we do this task on tomorrow itself. We just show you how all the projects we have been created. So we just sharing all the things to you for the practice purpose. So you can better understand with using the Flask, because generally the data science and data analytics works. We are doing lots of tasks on CSV files, only for the Excel sheet files. Right now, the one of my colleagues who is right now not present over here, and she is also a data analytics person in big data. So they're basically working within a CSV file. But what happened in CSV file, that there is not if in Excel sheet, if they have the 2 lakhs rows of the data. So that time that should be not convenient. So every time what happened in database, we fetch the data in a Excel sheet, and then after we do this task in the Python. So direct over here, we with the using of the Flask framework, we are not using a Django, but we are using a Flask framework. We connect the database and representing data. As you told that if any 1,000 people are requesting us, so that should be not possible every time to generating the PNG files. So we convert those data into an HTML format. So that should be very easy for us. So we just show you one of our basic projects. First of all, the CAGR, which we have done on the Excel, as well as those programs we also done in Python as well as. The other program is like team managers and their sales executives and their targets. So basically, nobody can request for this because that's the top level management. They can already decided whose target is max and whose target is very lower. So that's another project we have to also make, and representing all the team leaders, their executives data, even the whole organization data. So we just sharing all the things, and anyone have regarding the questions about the MySQL functions and procedures? I hope you can understand. We can make the simple function and procedures in front of you. So function is a return of value, and procedures we are using, we use a call keyword. We are not using the insert query over there. You have to see this. We using the just 1 minute. Yes, over here we are using a call and then after the procedure's name and the percentage as to getting the data from HTML, just like in PHP.
So about the image conversion that you asked, the thing is that what we did and what is happening here, it might look similar, but it's a bit complicated. So that's why I didn't get into detail here. Because the thing is that there's a lot of things going on the HTML side as well when we are sending a data with this method. That's why I didn't get into detail about it, because then you would just get you might get confused about it, or it's okay, two different technologies that we are joining. That's why I didn't get into details. That's the only reason that I didn't get into detail about this conversion that we are doing.
Yeah, that I easily understand, sir.
Yeah.
Because you are a mix up of the HTML and particularly I think some little bit JavaScript is also there.
Yeah, I will show you the data code. There's no issue in that. So it goes
Yeah,
to
not
data graph
sir,
HTML.
actually, I am already used to this kind of things in a Django framework because
Okay.
yeah, but this is the something is little bit different.
Yeah.
So because we use the Google chart and future chart, so that's we are just passing the API of data instead of this kind of informations, bit informations. And as per my knowledge, a Flask admin module is also available to there. So admin, they are just accessing a data frame in a variable and they are directly showing as a graph value through the Google graph and something different. All kind of graph features available to that.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, no problem. So this is if you want to see, this is our HTML code that we have actually created a function, and in this all the data is going on. So it might get a bit complicated when you see it at first. That's why I didn't get into this.
Okay, understand.
Okay, no problem. Thank you. So that's the project. If anyone has any more question, please ask.
Okay, we just sharing within an SQL database file, CAGR. So anyone that's create our first projects, like we have to show representing all the chart. Anyone have an issue regarding our first project? If you're making this project, please share a screenshot in WhatsApp group, please.
So in the CAGR project, you can just like we are not asking for the HTML part. That's understandable. You can just directly do display the image the way we showed you initially in the Matplotlib library. How we saved the image and then from the static folder we are displaying the image in the HTML file. That's what basically we are asking at the moment. That if anyone can do that, then please share the screenshot.
Manisha ma'am, please, anyone do this task? So please share the That's a graph photo in the in WhatsApp group, so we can see that. Otherwise, they can show over here. Anyone have any problem to make these codes and anything else?
Sir, actually, every participant can unmute themselves. It is open to all right now. So, if dear participants, if you are having any questions or what the sir is asking for the screenshot to share, if you did the task, then please share it in a WhatsApp group.
This simple code right now over here. This code we do this. I think everyone is done this task or not. If they're done, so please share a screenshot.
Sir, actually, we are not getting any responses from the participants. So I think they may need more time or please participants, let us know whether you need more time or sir should continue. Time.
So we need some time to do this.
Not an issue. First, you have to show these things. ये वाला मैं एक-एक करके ऐड किया।
There is no audio.
Participants actually, Vishal sir get power off, so he's disconnected. He will come very soon.
Hello.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Sorry, recently they had the power cut off, so internet connection is we lost our internet connection. So that's why this happened. Okay, everyone done this task? Any participation have any issue regarding this coding? Matplotlib, Panda, Seaborn. Okay, everyone done this task? I'm audible. Ghanshyam sir, I'm audible for you.
Yes, sir, audible.
Okay, everyone done this task? I'm giving the SQL sheet, sorry, SQL database file, and we are also sharing one of the dummy py file to all of you. Okay, anyone have any doubts regarding this project? We make this simple data science project with using a Flask. We are using all the libraries like Matplotlib, then Pandas, and then NumPy. So anyone have doubts regarding this? We are show you that how with the pip command we installing all the files. That's a little bit different with than Django, because in the Flask we can create each and everything, and the main purpose because they're using for web development, so we are using a Flask, and we connect the database data into an HTML format, and we just analyzing how our predictive result we can get. So in the previous sessions, we take the CAGR on Excel. So we make one of the project in the CAGR. If in the finance industry, we just researching any organizations and we find at least 4 years of their data, how much growth they are achieved. On the base of that growth rate, we can find it out in which company we are investing in which company we are investing. Those CAGR is more than 8%, yeah, 6 is more than 6%. So we're getting all the detailed report. And tomorrow itself, we have to see one of the another project. This is the team leaders and their sales executives. So we are also see this how we do the searching, as well as we are not showing how to insert, update, and delete the card operation. And if you need that to show the card operation, we just share you the codes and we display you all the codes how we do performing all these tasks. But we creating only one PY file and they handling the SQL files data as well as in HTML and data analysis, all the data, and they give our predictive result. And if anyone have any issue regarding today's sessions, if they are not be able to connect within the MySQL and not fetching the data, so on the tomorrow morning 10 o'clock, we have another hand-on sessions. So we just take their whole question and we give them whole question answers. We sort out their problems. I hope you are enjoying today's sessions. That is only for the basic for the Flask, and we just show you our other project as well as. So we try to give you detailed information regarding our next projects in tomorrow's session. Okay, thank you all of you. Anyone have any doubts, any questions? Once again.
Vishal bhai, what is tomorrow's planning? Our tomorrow's planning for the topics?
Tomorrow, ma'am, we just creating whole one of the project and we display how we do all the codes, segregate the HTML files, and we share you all the SQL database file as well as to all the participants so they can performing tasks within us.
Okay, so anything required to be shared today or anything they need to install today?
No, ma'am, nothing else. Only one of the library file, which is base 64. We just show you how to be installed.
Okay.
All the remaining 5 years you are installed. So that doesn't need, if they need, so we just installing as quick moment, because right now one of the PC they are ready with all the software for all the libraries. For the initial basis, I will just show you how where you have to getting all the libraries and each library, what the use of each libraries.
Okay, so participants, if you are having any queries related to today's session, then please ask it. Otherwise, we will end the session for the day. Okay, sir. Then we are ending the session. Thank you, Vishal, sir.
Okay, thank you so much.